Kia ora, namaste. My name's Dave Chain. I'm the gym manager for YMCA Invercargill. I'd like to welcome you to the YMCA 21-day intermittent fasting program, week 1. I'm going to start this presentation on the understanding that you have already watched the introductory session to this 21-day intermittent fasting program. If you haven't already watched it, I recommend that you stop this seminar and go back and watch it. You'll find a link to the introductory seminar right underneath this video clip. As I mentioned in the introductory seminar, this seminar is free for all our YMCA Invercargill members and their loved ones during the lockdown. If you're a non-member and you would like to do the program, please feel free to email me, dave@ymcasouth.org.nz. That's dave@ymcasouth.org.nz. As I mentioned in the introductory seminar, I make no claim to cure, heal, prevent, mitigate or diagnose any disease. During this seminar, this presentation is for educational purposes. None of this information is mine. It's a summary of the work that I found from Paul Chek, Dave Asprey, Dr. Jason Fong, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Zach Bush, Wim Hof and many others. You're welcome to email me for queries on this presentation, or if you wish to debate some of the information that I'm presenting. Again, none of this information is mine. Come to your own conclusions. It's your body, your life. This 21-day intermittent fasting program is part of a 5-part process, it also includes the 21-day detox program, the 21-day rapid fat loss program, 21-day ketogenic program, 21-day intermittent fasting, 21-day corrective muscle imbalance program. These programs are designed to be done one after the other, but you're welcome also to do them separately and individually as you see fit. The detox program is usually done in conjunction with Lisa from Complete Wellness. It's about teaching people how to eat clean and to reset their health. The Rapid Fat Loss Program is about helping people understand and manage the quality and quantity of their food, along with the hormonal responses to eating food. The Ketogenic Program teaches people how to use fat as a fuel source. The Intermittent Fasting Program is the one we're doing now. You'll find out more about that as we go through the program. The Corrective Muscle Imbalance Program is about helping people identify and correct muscle imbalances, and also to help them correct faulty movement patterns. Within this program, you'll be given the menu and recipes, 3 health and wellness seminars. If you're a non-member, typically speaking, you would also receive a 21-day gym pass. However, given that we're in lockdown at the moment, that's not available to you, but we're happy to provide you with a home-based exercise program if that's something that you would like to do. People that have done this program in the past have advised me that they've received an increase in mental clarity, they've had a lowering of their lower density lipoproteins, they've decreased their body fat, decreased their weight, increased their energy, and they're now sleeping better. So if you've signed up to do the program and you've emailed me, I will have sent you out your manual, and you will also have access to your home-based exercise program through the main YMCA website. And just a reminder, you can find those home-based exercise programs at the YMCA South website. Just click on the News and Events tab and then click on the YMCA COVID-19 home-based exercise program page. So why would anyone want to go without food for any length of time at all? Well, according to Jason Fong, nephrologist from Canada, there are a lot of health benefits from fasting. Generally speaking, people live longer, they live healthier lives, they have lower cholesterol levels, lower triglycerides, they have an increase in energy through the production of ketones, they have an increase in growth hormones so they can maintain their muscle mass easier, they have a decrease in fat, decrease in weight, they have an increase in insulin sensitivity so they're less likely to get type 2 diabetes, they have an increase in cellular repair, it's cheaper than all of the other diets, and it's probably one of the cheapest health interventions that we can do for ourselves. It's easy to understand, it has a high level of adherence, and it's really easy to do. You just don't eat. Before we go too much further, I'll just recap some of the information that we covered in the introductory session really quickly. So this slide here comes from a 7-year study of a Women's Health Initiative where women were encouraged to increase their exercise, increase their carbohydrate intake, decrease their calories, and decrease their fat intake. You can see in this next slide the results of that 7-year study where people decreased their fat intake, decreased their calories, and increased their carbohydrates and exercise. And you can see that there's relatively little change in the body mass index and their waist circumference and also their waist to hip ratio. And for me, if I was doing part of a 7-year study and given those guidelines, I'd want to see a few more gains than that. Conversely, if we have a look at some of the studies from intermittent fasting, in this particular example of non-obese subjects, we can see that there's a weight loss of 4 kg over a period of just 21 days of alternate fasting. Achieving fast results like this can be very motivating for people to want to stick to and adhere to their program. But fasting doesn't just help people with weight loss. As this graph shows, it can also help lower BMI, fat mass, and waist circumference, but it has very little effect on fat-free mass, i.e. muscle. It's important that muscle mass is maintained or kept up, as muscle mass helps dictate the basal metabolic rate, or the rate at which our body burns through calories on a daily basis. By increasing or maintaining our basal metabolic rate, we increase the amount of calories or maintain the amount of calories that we burn through on a daily basis. During the introductory seminar, we also explored the idea that the increase in obesity around the world might not just be about the quantity of food that we're eating and the quality of the food that we're eating, but it may also be impacted by when we're eating. Specifically, the insulin trap. The insulin trap suggests that when we eat carbohydrates, our blood glucose goes up, which is a signal for the pancreas to start to produce more insulin. When insulin levels go up, blood glucose is moved into the body's cells for fuel, and at the same time, we stop burning fat as fuel and we start storing it. So if we want to burn more body fat, it makes sense that we would put our body in a position where it could use fat as a fuel. One of the ways that we can do this is through time-restricted eating. If we were just to eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch and dinner, you can see that during those meals and not long after, we have an increase in our blood glucose, which increases our insulin response, which decreases our ability to burn fat and increases our ability to store fat. However, between those meals, and certainly between dinner and breakfast the following day, you can see that the insulin levels have dropped off, and that increases our ability to burn fat as fuel. If we take that to the next level and we eat all our food within just a 4-hour period and we have a 20-hour fast, then for 20 hours roughly, we have the ability to use fat as a fuel and burn through fat to be able to give us our energy needs for the day. The structure of this 21-day program is that in week 1 we'll be doing 5 and 2, which is made popular by Michael Mosley, which is a calorie restriction part of the program. In week 2 we'll be doing some time-restricted eating through eating for 6 hours and fasting for 18 hours. This was made popular by Dave Asprey. And then in week 3 we're going to give you the option of redoing week 1 or week 2 or trying a dinner-to-dinner fast. And fasting material that I've gathered has been from Dr. Jason Fong. So as I said before, the 5 and 2 part of this program comes from the concept of eating only 500 calories for females in a day and 600 calories for males in a day, and you would do this 1 to 3 times a week. If you would like to find out more information about Dr. Michael Mosley's program, if you go to your web browser and type in Eat Fast Live Longer BBC Horizon 2020, you'll find a documentary by Dr. Mosley presenting the concept of 5 and 2. And 5 and 2 simply means that for 2 days of the week you restrict your calories to 500 for females, 600 for males, and then 5 days a week you'll just eat normally. On the days that you are not restricting your calories, you'll eat as you normally would, or you can use the recipes in the manual. You can also use the Biggest Myth handout to help structure your meals, and if you would like a copy of that, feel free to email me, dave@ymcasouth.org.nz. Happy to send that out to you. You can either follow the recipes and the menus within this 21-day program, or if you've done any of the other 21-day programs, especially the 21-day detox or the rapid fat loss program, then you're welcome to use those recipes in there as well. Just a reminder that this is intermittent fasting and calorie restriction. So if you, for example, do one of your restricted calories days on a Monday, you wouldn't do the second day on Tuesday. You would wait till Wednesday or Thursday or Friday to be able to do that. Again, this 5 and 2 concept was made popular by Dr. Michael Mosley, who suggests that it provides similar results to absolute fasting and that it works really well for those with type 2 diabetes. Is a great introduction to fasting and has the best results with 1 meal a day, similar results with 2 meals a day, and works okay with just grazing during the day when you're eating your 500 or 600 calories. While you're on the program, feeling hungry is normal and it's okay, you won't die. Feeling fatigued, grumpy and irritable is also quite normal, and you can avoid this by taking some MCT oil and or having a bulletproof coffee. The cautions of this part of the program is that if you experience any dizziness, low blood pressure or a hypoglycemic response, or you feel sick or unwell, these are not normal parts of the program, so if you experience any of these, please stop the program immediately. If you're already on an exercise program, please keep that exercise up, but you may want to consider decreasing the density and intensity and maybe even the volume of that exercise program while you're going through this fasting program. If you're not exercising and you wish to start exercising while doing this 21-day intermittent fasting program, please remember to start your exercise program gently and slowly. If possible, separate your cardio and resistance training onto separate days. And just a reminder that due to the lockdown and your inability to get into the gym, we've put home-based exercise programs on our website, and you can find those by going to the YMCA and Invercargill website, going to our news and events, and then the COVID-19 page for those home-based exercise programs. Some general tips while you're on the 21-day intermittent fasting program. Where possible, eat clean. And by eating clean, I mean the less processed your food has experienced, the better off it will be for you. The more colour and variety of texture on your plate, the better. If you can eat organic, biodynamic foods, then that's the best. And if you can't do that, eat free range or at least spray-free. It's also important to make sure that you chew your food to mush or liquidation. This makes it a whole lot easier for your stomach to break that food down with the acid in there, and then once the acid's done its job, that makes it a whole lot easier for the digestive enzymes to be able to break down that food further. The food will then get passed through the liver via the portal vein. Rubbish products will be pushed out through the gallbladder and through the intestines, and the rest of the food will be circulated around the body to nourish the body. So make sure you chew your food to mush. Sit down when you're eating and make sure you've engaged your parasympathetic nervous system or your rest and digest system. The easiest way to do that is by taking 4 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Not too much water while you're eating. Again, chew your food to mush, and if you feel you need to, grab some hydrochloric acid to help with the digestion of your food and or digestive enzymes. It's also important to stay hydrated while you're fasting, and also really important to keep up your electrolytes. One of the easiest ways to do this is to put a pinch of New Zealand organic sea salt or Celtic sea salt or Himalayan rock salt in your filtered water when you're drinking it. If you can taste the water, then you've got too much in there. Water is also really good for lubricating the joints, increasing the height of your spine, lowering blood pressure, and making sure that we have good bowel movements. So why does intermittent fasting work so well? Well, the experience of our religious leaders and various religions would tell us that people sometimes experience some level of euphoria while they're fasting, and it's suggested that this may be to the increase in ketones being produced while we're fasting. Indigenous cultures also tell us that they do some level of fasting to prepare for various ceremonies within their culture. Dr. Jason Fong would tell us that the results that people achieve from bariatric surgery are very similar to those that people achieve while fasting. It may well be that it's a caloric restriction while fasting or on a time-restricted eating pattern, or it may be that we're able to keep our insulin levels low. It may be that we're just giving the digestive system of the body a rest, and that's important, and it may be that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. What we do know about fasting, though, is that it does lower our insulin levels. It also helps increase insulin sensitivity. It increases our cellular repair, decreases inflammation within the body, it increases heart health, reduces cancer rates, it increases cancer treatment effectiveness, increases brain function, and can help mitigate cognitive dysfunctions such as Alzheimer's, at least the onset and progression of Alzheimer's. Also helps with our metabolic reprogramming, gives us a more quality and longevity of our health during life, and increases our growth hormone production. One of the biggest concerns that gets thrown at me from time to time on this program is people are scared that they'll lose their muscle mass. From a survival perspective and an evolution perspective, it doesn't make sense that if you are hungry or fasting, you're going without food, that the body would start to use muscle mass for fuel. From an evolution perspective, we would have needed that muscle mass to go and hunt and gather for our food, so it would be really important that our body maintains that. There is some good scientific literature out on this that suggests that 3 days into a fast, growth hormone levels can increase by over 300%, and after a week of fasting they can increase by a massive 1250%. The body will use protein as a fuel, but that protein won't come from muscle mass unless you drop down below 4% body fat. Most of us will never achieve that. It will use protein for fuel in the form of loose skin and skin tags, and through the processing of dead and dysfunctional cells through the process. Topher G is an important process for cellular and tissue rejuvenation. It removes damaged cellular components, including misfolded proteins, meaning that at the end of your fast, your body should function better and look better. Generally speaking, autophagy starts to kick in after you deplete your blood glucose stores and your liver stores of glucose, and for most people that'll be after the first 2 to 3 days of fasting. Typically speaking, while people are on the 21-day program, we sell MCT oil to them at wholesale price. But again, due to the COVID lockdown, we're unable to do that for you. However, you can still purchase it from Complete Wellness in Windsor if you wish to do so. Again, as I mentioned at the start of this seminar, this program is free for all our YMCA members and their loved ones during the COVID-19 lockdown. If you're a non-member and wish to do this program, please feel free to email me at dave@ymcasouth.org.nz. That's dave@ymcasouth.org.nz, so we can make some arrangements for you to be able to do that. This is the close of the first seminar of the 21-day intermittent fasting program. Look forward to seeing you in the second health and wellness seminar of this 21-day intermittent fasting program in the next seminar. Thank you.